friends and sisters, welcome to day 78, where we are talking about being approachable. We have our good friends Olivia and Elizabeth today talking to us about the subject. And I love this idea of being approachable because, especially in marriage, to have a healthy marriage, the other person has to be able to be approachable. This is something that sometimes I can struggle with a teeny tiny bit of being approachable because sometimes I don't like being called out for things that I know I'm wrong in because I've already called myself out in those areas, which we talked about a few weeks ago about, calling yourself out. And our verse today is Matthew 19:14. It says, Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." And if you feel like you can struggle to be approachable, or you have friends who, you can maybe struggle sometimes going to them because you don't feel like they're approachable, God is always approachable. Jesus is always welcoming us with open arms, and he is the one who never is going to hinder us from coming to him. So if you have ever wrestled with, a friendship or a spouse or whatever that you can struggle to be approachable with, don't ever put that on God. God is the most approachable being in the universe, and he wants us to come to him. And I just encourage you to do that today.
Hey y'all, welcome to day 78 of the 90-day challenge. We are so excited to be here with y'all today talking about the topic, be approachable. I love this topic because I feel like I can relate to it. A few years ago, I definitely would not have been able to relate to this because I feel like I kept to myself and I was honestly kind of shy and never wanted to go out of my way to talk to new people or let people get to know me. But over the past few years, I really have come out of my shell and seen God do that through me and show me the importance of being approachable and being able to talk to other people and approach other people to be able to share my faith. And so now when I enter into a room where used to I would have kept to myself and stayed to myself, now I want to go up and talk to the person who's sitting by themselves because I don't know what they might be going through. And I don't know if they're in the same place that I was in a few years ago of not being able to talk to other people.
And she's telling the truth because now that she's been this way, there is not a place we walk into in the town of West Monroe that she does not personally know or have a connection with somebody in the room.
So funny. Honestly, it's true though. And I truly accredit that to the Lord because he has done so much in my life in that area over the years. And in order for us to be approachable, we have to have the qualities of like the fruits of the Spirit. We have to be kind and we have to be gentle and loving and just have a sweet spirit about us that lets people know that they can come up and talk to us and they can confide in us and they can be vulnerable with us and they can just have a friend in us.
And that kind of leads us into today's verse where in Matthew 19:14, Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." And Christian kind of talks about how he gets involved with the children in his community and his family. And just recently, me and my husband were inspired to start helping out with the youth at our local church. And at first, we weren't sure if that was something we wanted to get involved in, but then now we absolutely love it. And one thing we've learned is that it's not just us teaching the children. We learn from the children. We learn so much from the next generation, and we also get to pour into them. So it's just been a really fun thing. And something else this reminds me of is my two little sisters. They're 8 years old and they're twins. And it is just so fun to get to hang out with them. And I thought it was so funny. One time they told me, they said, "Livy, when are you going to act like an adult?" They said, "You act like a kid. Are you ever going to grow up and act like an adult?" And I just thought that's the best compliment that they could have given me because it made me feel like I was approachable to them. They open up to me and ask me questions that they might be scared to ask adults. Yeah. I kind of love that I get to be on that level with them and they confide in me. And through that, I learned so much in them too.
Yeah, I love that. I love how Olivia was talking about how we can learn so much through the kids' eyes too. It's not that we just teach them, but they teach us so much. I know that we have so many kids in my family, and every Sunday, they are the first ones to go to the altar and to pray and to bring their friends with them. And that is such a lesson for my heart to learn that, like, God does call the little children. He calls us all the same, but just seeing them respond to that call, and it just inspires me to do the same. So just as much as we can teach them, they can teach us.
Yeah. And kids are fun because, they're not going to judge you
exactly.
if you act kind of weird, It's so true. They don't judge.
It's so true.
So it's a very fun thing and a very insightful thing too.
And
at the same time.
Yeah, and there's so many opportunities for you to get involved like that too. Like how Olivia said that she and Zach have been serving with the youth. Maybe you have a youth group at your local church, or maybe you have kids in your family that you can be pouring into. But there's so many ways to be involved.